We talked about this a few days ago. Do you remember this video? How the Vancouver Canucks have a secret weapon in the 2024 Stanley Cup Playoffs? Yeah, this was before everything began. And you know what? I don't like to toot my own horn all too much. I'm very much more a fan of making the I was so wrong about videos rather than the I was so right about. But in this video, we can't go out there and ignore that the Vancouver Canucks secret weapon, quote-unquote, of Dakota Joshua, Elias Lindholm, and Connor Garland, they have been just that. A secret, gosh darn weapon. And in this video, I wanted to talk in particular about the redemption, the revival of one Vancouver Canucks potential trade chip. A guy whom we didn't even know was going to be a part of the team after the trade deadline. A guy who was tossed out there in new rumors. Could he have been a Bruin? Could he have gone elsewhere? Who really knows? We're talking about Elias Lindholm because this guy has suited up Jordy Jordan style. He's got the wings of redemption and he's clawing back in the sport of hockey. Now, the thing is, with Elias Lindholm, I know I've been one of the guys on social media that's been a lot more critical of the way that he's played. He wasn't really good with Vancouver to kick off his tenure. Okay, no, he kicked off the tenure really well because he scored 2 goals in his first game. But other than that, Lindholm went through a really bad stretch where he just wasn't too effective and he wasn't scoring any points, and then he got hurt and he took some time off, and we were kind of debating, okay, is this like why he was not all too good? Was he just hurt the entire time? Is that what caused Lindholm to go, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games with only 1 point? Meanwhile, Andrei Kuzmenko was over in Calgary putting in goals like crazy and scoring a bunch of points, and a lot of Canucks fans were saying, hey, we lost the trade. I said it. We lost the trade. But the idea was present amongst the fans and the media that even if Elias Lindholm wasn't really all too great in the regular season, even though this guy might not have actually been too productive, if Lindholm can do what it is that he's supposed to do in the playoffs, if he can win the Canucks a game, if he can win the Canucks a series, if he can shut down an opposing team's top center, then he'll be worth it. Then, that's when Lindholm provides value, because the playoffs are a different game. We had talked about this exact same talking point in yesterday's post-game video, but I wanted to talk more so about the transition into the postseason for Lindholm, because, and I don't think a lot of Canucks fans will remember this off the top of their heads, but Elias Lindholm, towards the end of the regular season, was nearly a point-per-game guy. He had 5 points in his last 6 games of the regular season against the Canadiens, the Flames, Coyotes, Oilers, Flames again, and then the Jets. Lindholm, for all intents and purposes, started to look a lot more like a top 6 caliber forward heading into the postseason. Talk had put him on that line with Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland. We said this could be a secret weapon line because those two wingers are so good together, and having an upgrade on center from Blueger to Lindholm should, in theory, boost up the team's ability even more. And that's exactly what we saw. Elias Lindholm has 3 points in 4 postseason games against the Nashville Predators. You could debate he should have 4 points because the Dakota Joshua game-leading go-ahead goal in Game 1, Lindholm was on the forecheck. He's the reason the puck was freed up to Connor Garland, who was able to throw it out for Dakota Joshua. Yeah, Lindholm didn't get an assist on that play. You could debate he should have because his foot was kind of there. Maybe he did touch the puck, maybe he didn't, but they ultimately revealed that he did not. But it was his interference down low with the Nashville defenders on the boards that allowed Garland to take the puck free, send it up to Joshua, and then give the Canucks a go-ahead goal just 12 seconds after their game-tying goal from Pius Suter in Game 1. So Lindholm's stats might not even be all too representing of how good he has been. He opened up the scoring in the playoffs for Vancouver's playoff run with the opening goal against Saros, the long wrist shot on the rush with the screen from Roman Josi. He played 21 minutes in Game 3, which was pretty outstanding when you consider the defensive battle that game was. And then in Game 4, he had a goal and an assist. Such an incredible performance here out of a guy whose presence had kind of gone under the radar. I mean, Brock Boeser was the real star of the night, I feel, because Boeser got the hat trick, but Lindholm with the overtime winner, which was great, as well as the primary assist on the Brock Boeser 3-2 goal, that deserves some credit as well. The Canucks, when they get into that passing game, when they get into their systems, and Elias Lindholm is given a spot on it, he doesn't make mistakes anymore. It's not like he did before, it's just I feel like him in the net front area was a lot more prone for him to tip pucks rather than be a part of the cycle, but now when it was like 6-on-5, you've got the Canucks cycling it up top, you've got Petey, Hughes, and Miller. Eventually it goes over to Lindholm, who then goes cross-crease to Besser. Beautiful play, such poise to not shoot right away if you're Elias Lindholm in that position. And the goal in overtime, of course, set up by Joshua and Garland, two guys who were down on the boards battling and fighting off the check of defending Predators, and Lindholm just waltzing to the front of the net, nobody on him. Ryan O'Reilly, Philip Forsberg, they both lose their assignment, and Lindholm, by himself, puts it in the back of the cage. I don't care if Elias Lindholm is not going to come back. I don't care that he's not going to re-sign. We know that he's going to demand like $8-something million a year on the free agent market, and quite frankly, he has the right to do so now. It's crazy how quickly things can change in the hockey landscape, because just a few weeks ago we were saying, yeah, no, this guy is a bum. Andrei Kuzmenko is so much better. The Canucks lost the Lindholm trade. They did this, they did that, and they're not going to re-sign him because he's going to want too much money and he's not good, so who knows if he's even going to get that money anyway. And then he did this. Now he is a top 6 forward that's playing like a top 6 forward on the third line, being tasked against some very talented forwards. Now he is starting to produce. He's getting his groove on. And if there's any part of Lindholm's Canucks tenure that's justifying that $8 million label that he's probably going to be asking for, it's right now. It was that Game 4 overtime win. It was the 2 points. It was the poise, the defensive responsibility, how he shut down Ryan O'Reilly for a good chunk of the Vancouver games in Games 1 and 2. How Elias Lindholm has been doing a really good job at just being the player that we thought he should be able to be. I don't know if Vancouver re-signs him, and I don't think they have an opportunity to. This is kind of where the direness of how the Canucks construction is laid out. We talked about this in a video a few days ago too, but like, if you were kind of worried about the state of the team and who's going to stay and who's going to go, this is kind of the year where you need to win the cup, which is so, let's jump into conclusions for sure, but Lindholm is probably not going to come back. Zadorov is probably not going to come back. You're going to have a bunch of guys leaving this team in free agency. So right now, while you have them all here, you might as well go out and win, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the redemption of Elias Lindholm and how this has been a guy that has really put everything back on the table when it comes to being a productive hockey player and somebody that the Vancouver Canucks are probably very happy to have on their team. Thoughts in the comment section as to where he goes from here, and how much money do you think his play is going to be worth in the 2024 offseason? What are your opinions about the contract dollar amount? Does it happen with Vancouver? Does he get that money from the Canucks? Or does he put himself in a position to just get the bag elsewhere? A team needs a top-line center, and they think he can be that because he's played with Huberdeau and Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk, and he's had this tenure of success throughout different teams, and now he's scoring goals in the playoffs and making great clutch plays, and Nashville is seemingly succumbing to the pressure that is Elias Lindholm's forecheck. And yeah, he's pretty good. Very, very, very good. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Elias Lindholm. I had to go out there and make this video, man. I had to. With all the videos that we've made about him doing poorly, the one time he does well, like, we have to give props to that. So thoughts in the comment section below about Elias Lindholm and his entire profile so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.